What's up, you guys? It's Naseem here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys a very special look at the brand new Galaxy Z Flip 4. Now, the Galaxy Z Flip 4 is a phone that doesn't really look different at all when compared to last year's Z Flip 3. Samsung usually makes significant changes when it comes to hardware, but this time, the main difference is what's on the inside. The Galaxy Z Flip 4 has a much better processor that allows you to run everything much more efficiently. It has a slightly smaller frame than last year, making it much more comfortable and easy to use. It has slightly better cameras that aren't the best in the game, but have made significant improvements in terms of quality. And last but not least, the Z Flip 4 has a really great looking display that is more colorful, vibrant, sharp, and easier to navigate through thanks to a smaller outer display. But besides my initial thoughts on the Z Flip 4, I still wanted to let you guys in on my first impressions with it and why I think that it's a good phone that many people will enjoy. And before I give you guys an in-depth look at the Galaxy Z Flip 4, the first thing we have to do is unbox this thing, right? Now, the first thing that I noticed when I was unboxing the Z Flip 4 was that just like on every other Z Flip series, you have the very clean black aesthetic that makes the experience feel similar to other models. Also, we have the flip in giant letters, and underneath we have the full name of the phone that'll match the color that you're using. On the left side, we again have the name of the phone. On the top and bottom, we have the scanner barcodes, and on the back, we have all the additional info about your purchase. Now, the first thing that we see when we take the top off the box is the Z Flip itself, and I will say that it has the perfect size to it along with a pretty nice feel. On the back, we have a glass finish that is very similar to the Z Flip 2, and we also have the same outer display as the Z Flip 3, but there are many improvements when it comes to functionality. Also, we have the same style camera bumps that are really good at melting into the phone and also creating a sleek look. And again, I'm really glad that Samsung is putting more effort into the interior. Also, when we look at the phone, we can see the hinge, which definitely feels a little bit more sturdier than the Z Flip 3, but we'll see if it stays that way after long-term use. On the right side of the phone, we have our power button and volume rockers. On the top, we have our built-in speaker and mic. On the left side, we have the SIM ejection port. And last but not least, on the bottom, we have our USB-C port, mics, and speakers. And when we look at the screen, we can see the 6.7-inch display that is smaller than the Z Flip 3 when it comes to height. But I personally think that it's the best size since it fits really well in my hand and I can reach the top a little easier. Now, the last things that we have in the box of the Z Flip 4 is our starter guide booklet, the SIM ejection tool, a USB Type-C cable. Now, the Z Flip 4 has 4 different colors in its catalog, starting with the colorful Bora purple, pink gold, and blue. And for the more uniform colors, you only have the graphite version that still looks really good. And the version that I have is graphite, and as you can see, it looks really good. The colorful aspect along with the color coordinated rails give it a good amount of depth. I really admired that there were different shades with different materials. Even when we look at it in the sun, we can see that it looks very premium while also giving off a nice clean look that I think many people will enjoy. I again really loved how it had shiny sides that were the same color and continued that clean aesthetic on the phone. The only thing that I wish Samsung could have done was keep the matte backs, because in my opinion, the Z Flip 3's back felt much better and felt much better to hold. Now, the Z Flip 4 has a 6.7-inch dynamic AMOLED display that I will say was pretty good based off my first impressions. It was vibrant, the quality was good, and it did good, so I was pretty satisfied with the outcome. I also really like the fact that the size was big with very small bezels. Like right here, you can see I'm on social media, and you can see that it's big enough to still get the job done and give a good visual experience. The cut in the middle is very noticeable when you view the phone at an angle or turn the screen off, but once you're actually using the phone, you can't see it. Also, you're more likely to slide your fingers across it compared to the Z Fold 4. Next up, we have the 1.9-inch Super AMOLED display that looks better than the Z Flip 3 in terms of resolution. But something that I like was the fact that you could do so much more. Like right here, you can see that it allows you to tap into your quick menus, use Samsung Pay for the front screen, and even read text and reply using speech to text. And even though this is my first impressions with the phone, I really like that Samsung was able to capitalize off a really helpful feature, since most of the time, your phone will be closed and you won't always want to flip it open. But besides that, the display was really responsive out of the gate. Everything that I clicked on and moved responded very quickly, and I would say that overall, it felt much better than last year. The Z Flip will also have the same exact software as any other Samsung in the market, so if you're a fan of Samsung's software and ecosystem in general, you'll definitely love what this phone has to offer. Well, now when it comes to the build quality on the Z Flip 4, I would say that compared to other phones at this price range, it was one of the most premium builds in that market. Again, I really like the glass back for the premium feel, but the only downside to it was that I'm using it without a case, so it will be very slippery and give me a feeling that I might drop it. But besides that, the front and back of the Flip 4 have a Gorilla Glass build, which means that in most cases, if you do drop it, then most likely it won't break, which is good news for people who drop their phones a lot. Again, I also love the glossy side, so that it made the phone feel much more smooth and made the phone feel much more satisfying. And this is the reason why I think that this phone will gravitate towards a lot of people. Now when it comes to physicality, the Z Flip 4 has a height of 165 millimeters, a width of 71.9 millimeters, and it weighs about 187 grams, which is almost the same when compared to the Z Flip 3. And right here, you can see how well it fit into my hands. It's not too small and it's not too big, so I was able to get a comfortable grip on it, which made me less likely to drop it. Even when you put it in your pockets, it'll fit really well since it's more portable thanks to it being able to fold. You can even put it in smaller components within your car, which really helped for me. And it had a really good weight to it as well. It wasn't too light and it wasn't too heavy, which resulted in a much more comfortable fit in hand. Now the Z Flip 4 has a 12 megapixel wide and ultra wide camera that can shoot up to 4K at 60 frames per second. It also has a front camera that is at 8 megapixels and can shoot up to 1080p at 30 frames per second. And when we look at the daytime outside photos, we can see that it was okay compared to last year. The skies look nice, but sometimes they looked a little dull. The environment looked okay, and my selfies were pretty okay at best. It was pretty mid when taking selfies as well. It took really good selfies, but whenever the sun wasn't hitting, the quality wasn't as good. Now when we look at the daytime inside photos, I would say that these weren't much better. There were times where I had to retake a photo just to get a good shot, and the colors looked a little bland at times. It was able to capture my skin color, not as good, but it's an improvement from last year. And also you could take photos from the front screen, which is really cool. I also wanted to give you guys an example of how the phone records video before I gather my final thoughts about it in my final review. Now, when we look at additional specs on the Z Flip 4, it has the new Snapdragon Gen 8 One Plus chip. It has storage starting from 128 gigs that goes all the way up to 512 gigs. It has a 37 mAh battery that supports super fast charging, and it has an IX68 water resistance rating. And there it is, you guys, my review on the Z Flip 4. Now stay tuned for more because I will be giving a weekly update on the Z Flip where I will be going into more detail with how it holds up. And do me a favor and let me know down in the comments. Should I do a day in the life on the Z Flip 4? Let me know. And if you guys made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you for sticking around. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe. It will be very appreciated. And as far as social media, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram. And I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.